Hello students, welcome back to chemistry class. Today we are going to discuss chemical properties of aldehyde and ketones. In that, in aldehyde and ketones, there is both have polar carbonyl group. That is a ketone and this is aldehyde. This is aldehyde. Means aldehyde and ketones both possess polar carbonyl group. Polar carbonyl group. They show similar chemical properties. Means it is a aldehyde and ketones both possess polar carbonyl group. So they show similar reaction. So first reaction is nucleophilic addition reaction. What is nucleophilic addition reaction? So you might be knowing the nucleophilic addition reaction. What is nucleophilic addition reaction? In that nucleophile attack at carbonyl carbon and that form intermediate. And next step, that the intermediate abstract hydroxyl and from the medium and else cross bonding product. So let us see how does it happen. I would like to say you that to understand this topic, chemical properties, you should watch the video till end. If you are skipping the video, you will not be able to understand the things. So to understand this, you should watch the video till end. Okay students, so please watch it. So let us see nucleophilic addition reaction. Nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay. So what happened in nucleophilic addition reaction? Means aldehyde and ketones both show nucleophilic addition reaction. But some difference is there. What difference? We will discuss it. So how does the nucleophilic addition reaction takes place here? Let us discuss. So let us see how does the nucleophilic addition reaction takes place. In nucleophilic addition reaction, nucleophile attacks to carbonyl carbon and form intermediate. That this is intermediate and it abstracts hydroxyl from medium and gives cross bonding product. Okay. So let us see how does it happen. Here carbon is sp2 hybridized, so it is planar structure like this. Planar structure, trigonal planar, and carbon is there. Okay, so you may knowing that there are three X, Y and Z. So in this case at three position steric hindrance is found. So nucleophile always attack perpendicular to the plane like this. It always attack perpendicular to the plane. You remember one point. You remember nucleophile always attack to the perpendicular to the plane of a carbon. Okay, first point. And here nucleophile either may be electron rich compound for your information, electron rich compound, or it carry negative charge. Means electron rich compound or carry negative charge. So these 2 points you remember it for this reaction for nucleophilic addition. And nucleophile always will add at carbonyl carbon. At carbon means carry positive charge. So this point, if you remembering, it would be easy to understand the mechanism of this reaction. Okay, so always nucleophile at carbonyl carbon. Nucleophile attack on carbonyl carbon, and hydrogen always abstract if like this reaction is there. So abstract and that get attached to oxygen. 2 points you remember here. Okay, means nucleophile will always attach to carbonyl carbon and it will form that tetrahedral compound. This is slow step. First it completes in 2 steps. It is step fast and that is step slow. Oh sorry, second step. Okay, so first step is slow and second step is fast. So what is the reason why this first step is slow, second step is fast? We will discuss this because this carbonyl carbon is stable than the intermediate. Carbonyl carbon is stable than the intermediate. So if any nucleophile attach to the substrate compound, it means to carbonyl carbon being little more stable, it doesn't want to react with nucleophile. But there it is being unstable, it fastly react with abstract hydrogen from the medium and gives the desired product. So this is the reason this step is slow and that step is fast. And one thing I would like to say is that you will see this dotted line and this is, so it is on a plane. Okay, it is in a plane. So this is above the plane and this is below the plane and it is in a plane. So like this x, y, z axis is there. So carbonyl carbon always, sorry, nucleophile always attach to the perpendicular to the plane of carbonyl carbon. So this we have discussed. So let us see aldehyde and ketones both show same type of addition reaction, but aldehyde is more reactive than the ketone. So let us discuss why aldehydes are more reactive than the ketones. So why aldehyde is more reactive than ketone? Let us discuss. So on this basis, what point we get here? What is the reason of more activity of aldehyde? The reason what we get here, that is the group. Okay, this is the group. So let us discuss how does it affect. So this one we have already discussed in that previous video, whatever I have loaded. I have uploaded one more video about this. So that in that we have discussed, but little we can discuss here. So here that is positive negatively charged, delta minus delta plus, and here also delta plus and delta minus. We have already discussed that carbonyl carbon is polar carbonyl carbon, and it acts as electrophile. What? It acts as electrophile, and here also act as electrophile. Okay. So, but some differences there. What is difference? In ketone, two valency is attached. Two valency of carbon are attached to alkyl group, that is a methyl group. That methyl group. And in aldehyde, the means one aldehyde group, one alkyl group means maybe methyl. So I will write here methyl and one hydrogen. And in we take formaldehyde, so both bond of carbon is attached to hydrogen. So we will compare both two. What happened here? In this case, if any alkyl group is bonded, in simple word, if any alkyl group is bonded, that reduce the electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon. So in aldehyde, we see one group is attached. So and in that two group is attached. It means if we discuss about this, so this only being one group, the electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon is reduced by lesser quantity in that, because in that there are two alkyl group. there are two methyl group. We can say two methyl like this we can write. Also it can be written like this. So if we wrote this and that, so what will be that? Methyl group, or we can say alkyl group. So we can say that alkyl group reduces the electrophilic nature of the carbonyl carbon. So in ketone there are two alkyl group, so they reduce more the electrophilic nature of the carbonyl carbon, while in aldehyde there is only one alkyl, means methyl group, or hydrogen group, hydrogen. So this reduce lesser quantity, this reduce in lesser quantity than that, because there are two alkyl group are bonded to carbonyl carbon. And why they reduce? As you have studied in class 11th, inductive effect. Inductive effect is of two type. What is of two type, plus inductive and minus inductive. And you might be knowing this is the permanent effect. Inductive effect is permanent effect. I have already taught that inductive effect. And what is inductive effect? Means the ability of a group to attract electron or repel electron. So the group which repel the electron, shows positive inductive effect, and that attract the electron shows negative inductive effect. So here, due to positive inductive effect, due to positive inductive effect of alkyl group, they reduce somewhat quantity of carbonyl carbon's electrophilic nature. Means due to due to plus inductive effect of methyl group, or we can say alkyl group, the carbonyl carbon of aldehyde electrophilic nature is reduced in more quantity than the aldehyde. So this is the reason why aldehydes are more reactive than the ketone. In simple way, we can say like this. You remember it in simple way. As the number of alkyl group will increase to carbonyl carbon, they will decrease the electrophilic nature of the carbonyl carbon. If we talk we talk here. So this, if I take like this formaldehyde, if I am taking, so what happened here in these two cases? In first and second, what happened here means which one is more reactive? This one is more reactive, because in that alkyl group is bonded. So it reduces somewhat quantity of some amount of electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon. So this one is less reactive than that. If I wrote the example like this, 3 examples I wrote. So we can write like this. If these group are HCHO and CH3, okay, CH3, CH2, like this. If I ask arrange these in increasing order of nucleophilic addition, so what will be the nucleophilic addition order? All have same group. So but in that what, only carbon is bonded. So no group is there that reduce the electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon. So first will be HCHO, okay, and second, let us see, in this to this carbon only one alkyl group is bonded, and in that carbon two alkyl group are attached. So I told you if alkyl group are attached to the carbonyl carbon, they reduce the electrophilic nature of the carbonyl carbon, because they show plus inductive effect, they are electron repelling group. So what will be the order? Order is CH3 and H, and next CH3 O CH3. So these are the reason why the aldehydes are more reactive than the ketone. What we discuss here? We discuss aldehydes are more reactive than ketones. So a reason, I think you might have understood that aldehydes are more reactive than the ketone. If you don't get anyone, don't mind. Okay, just remember this one point. If alkyl groups are bonded to the carbonyl carbon, they reduce the electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon because alkyl groups show plus inductive effect. This much you remember. So one mark question it may come that different type of aldehyde and ketones may be given. So it may ask that what is the effect, arrange these in increasing or decreasing order of their reactivity. So we can arrange seeing the alkyl groups. One point you also remember, this effect is up to 3 carbon, means inductive effect is up to 3 carbon. So after that it is very less. So you have to be very careful in the case of means aldehyde, if long chain compounds are there, so that time will be active. So let us discuss one more example, so things will be clear. I have taken one example that this, that, and that. So if I ask the arrange these in decreasing order of their activity towards nucleophilization, so it will be like this. Like this. Sorry. In so correct. Decreasing order of reactivity towards nucleophilic addition, because it is no alkyl group in that one. In that ethyl group is, so ethyl group is weaker than the methyl, so it will produce little more effect. And this propyl group is there, so it will reduce, it will produce more effect, so that will decrease the nature of carbonyl carbons, means electrophilic nature of carbonyl carbon. So thank you students, I thought you have understood this, and I would like to say you should watch this video till end. So in that, in nucleophilic addition of HCl. Addition of HCl. Okay. First point is addition of HCl. Okay. So what is the process? How does it take place? So addition of HCl to aldehyde and ketone gives cross-bonding cyanohydride. Addition of aldehyde and ketones with HCl gives cyanohydride. But addition of HCl takes place in presence of a base. Okay. So let us see how does it addition takes place. Here carbon, we have to see what I told, carbonyl carbon. Just we have to see carbonyl carbon. So for better, I will write like this. I have taken this. Okay. So HCl, for HCl, it will react with base and it will form water. It will form H2 plus Cl minus. This part I remember. So Cl negative charge. What I told, nucleophile attack and carbonyl carbons. So carbonyl carbon, why it is electrophile? Why it is electrophile? Negative charge, there positive charge. Okay, so it will attack there. It will attack to carbonyl carbon, and as soon as it will attack, this bond will shift to this side. Okay. So what happened? Let us see. Remember the steps. Remember the steps. What is first step is slow, and nucleophile always attack to the carbonyl carbon, means electrophilic carbon we can say. So what is the product? Let us see. This will be the product. Cl O minus and H. Okay, and it will abstract what? It will abstract H plus from medium. You might be knowing that nucleophile. What is the role of catalyst? So they initiate the reaction and finally they remain unchanged in reaction. Okay, so it will abstract H plus from medium, H plus from medium, and that H plus goes to here. Okay, and it will form cyanohydride. One is CH3, Cl, H, and OH. Acetaldehyde cyanohydride. What is the product? Acetaldehyde cyanohydride. So you remember one thing. This is slow step, slow, and that is fast. Okay, so it is very easy. You can see this cyanohydride with cyanide attached to the electrophilic carbon, and which one is electrophilic carbon? This carbon is electrophilic, and it will attack there, and it will form the intermediate, and that abstract hydrogen from medium and form the bottom. So this is what is the name of this one? Acetaldehyde cyanohydride. Acetaldehyde cyanohydride. Okay, so like this product we will get. So if I take, you may note it, please note it. Okay, I think you have noted. Okay, so if I have made it CH3 this, so there also will be like this, and here product will be. So what is the product name now? Ketone or acetone cyanohydride. What is acetone? Acetone cyanohydride. Okay, so like this product you will get by the addition of HC to the carbonyl carbon. And next is addition of hydrogen sulfide. This is hydrogen sulfide, not hydrogen sulfate. Okay, so you remember it, addition of hydrogen sulfide. So I think you might got idea what portion will be electrophile. So if we ionize it here, NaHSO3, it ionizes like this, NaH plus and HSO3 minus. So that will act as nucleophile and it act as electrophile. Okay. So let us take aldehyde here. We can take aldehyde or ketone both. Okay. But some points we will discuss. Here NaHSO3 I will add, this will go to carbonyl carbon, electrophilic center. Electrophilic center is this, and this will go to there. Okay. So what is first step? You can see CH3, and what we have added here? O. We can write like this, SO3H, and that this one will sit that side and this goes to that. So Na and H. Okay, that we got the product. That is the product. After that, proton shift take place. Proton shift takes place. This goes to there, and that Na comes to there. Here. Okay. What? So we can write proton shift, proton transfer. Proton transfer. Okay. So this hydrogen as a proton, it goes to this oxygen, and that sodium ion come to this. Okay. So what will be the product when we have transferred CH3 O? This goes to there, so it will be like this, H, and what was there? SO3H, and Na comes here. So what will be the product? This is the product. So like this we can write. Now one point you remember it. One point you remember. What is that? That if we are using ketone, so due to steric hindrance, if we add what? If we add mineral acid, reaction becomes bad. reaction becomes back. Means instead of aldehyde, if we are taking ketone and mineral acid is added, so reaction is converting again to reactant. Means this product will form and again it will change into same product. So what is use of this? This method is used to differentiate, to separate aldehyde from ketones, because in both carbonyl group is there. So if ketone is there, if we have added mineral acid there, so that will reverse the reaction and we will get again ketone. But if aldehyde is there, so after adding mineral acid, no such change take place. Okay. So you remember is because of this it is used to separate the aldehyde from ketones. So sodium sulfide is used. So what we discuss here, sodium sulfide, if react with aldehyde, we get this product. Okay. Yeah. First process, that group added to this and this to that, and proton transfer takes place and we get product. But in case of ketone, due to steric hindrance, if mineral acid is added to this reaction, so reaction reverse, means we get product but immediately it reverses. So if aldehyde and ketones are there, like this, aldehyde and ketone are there, this is aldehyde and this is ketone. If aldehyde and ketone are there, so how can you differentiate? In reaction we add what? Mineral acid dilute, sorry, we can say dilute acid in the reaction. So after the product it reverse. So by this we can say if a product reverse, that we can say that is acetone, that is ketone. If aldehyde on adding dilute acid to the reaction, that doesn't back to reactant. So on this basis we can differentiate what? Aldehyde and ketones. In case of ketones, reaction becomes back, reaction reverse. From reactant, first we from reactant we get product. If we have added dilute acid, it backs, reaction reverse, and we get ketone again. So this method is also used to differentiate the aldehyde and ketone, and we get bisulfide product. Bisulfide, like that, acetaldehyde bisulfide we can see. Okay. So this is the reaction, and instead of this we can write here CH3 also we can write, then it will change into ketone. So what will be the product? Like this product. One time all of you note the product like this, ketone bisulfide. We can write the name of the product, and that is ketone bisulfide. Next is addition of Grignard reagent to aldehyde and ketones. Addition of Grignard reagent to aldehyde and ketones followed by hydrolysis gives primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. So this reaction you have already studied in preparation of alcohol, but I would like to explain it. You will understand here. So what is addition of RMGX. What we said? Grignard reagent. Okay. Addition of Grignard reagent means we can write like this: addition of Grignard reagent to aldehyde and ketones followed by hydrolysis gives primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. So let us see how does it give the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. So let us see, if I am taking formaldehyde, I'll have to see this formaldehyde, if I have taken here, okay, and RMGX. So in this place I have taken methyl magnesium chloride, or we can say RMGX here. It is more better to take this, but we can, instead of this X can be taken, okay, and here instead of this R means not methyl, only propyl, butyl, methyl, etc. may be taken. So I think things are clear. here this group is what type of group this is. This will go to there, that is this portion is nucleophile, so this come to there and this one go to there and that portion goes there. So what we get, let us see what is the product, first step product. Okay, so H, what we have added there, OMgCl, OMgCl, and here we will add this. So what will be CH3. Okay, and then H, hydrolysis, and hydrolysis I am writing like this. It is H2. It can be written HOH, iron. So it will form what? It will form this. Will form the product. Okay. So what is the remaining there? Write the product. They will add, and what is that? MgOHCl. And rest, what is rest? What is rest? And valency of that oxygen is one valency of that oxygen is 2. So this will add to that. So I am just doing what you want. Okay, here H and CH3, H and H. Okay, and if I write like this, CH3 and this with the carbon, CH2 and OH. So what is this? Is primary alcohol. This is primary alcohol. So we can write like this. Means what we have taken, primary alcohol we got if we have taken formaldehyde. If we are taking formaldehyde, so what product we got? We got primary. The limitation of this reaction is that we can't get methyl alcohol by this reaction. We can't prepare methyl alcohol by this reaction. Limitation of this reaction is that by this reaction we can't prepare methyl alcohol, and we prepared that primary alcohol, that is ethyl alcohol, and if we write isolation name, what will be that? Name of this compound will be, what is? Ethanol. Okay, and that is primary. That is primary. So how we got the primary? If we are taking formaldehyde and methyl magnesium halide or ethyl magnesium halide, whatever we want, we can take. Okay, so we get primary alcohol. If we want secondary alcohol, so first all of you note it. So I think you have noted. So if we want secondary alcohol, so I will take acetaldehyde. What? Acetaldehyde, CH3. Okay. So nothing we have to change. There just we have to write this. Just we have to write this. And so secondary alcohol. So here it can be written like this. You may see, if secondary alcohol CH3, two alkyl group are bonded to carbon and OH and H. So it can be written like this: CH3, CHOH and CH3. So this is secondary alcohol. Okay. If tertiary alcohol, we are taking, what will be the product of tertiary alcohol? Sorry, what we, if we want tertiary alcohol, what aldehyde or ketone we have to take? So in that case we have to take acetone or ketone. So if I made it, it will be acetone. If I took this acetone, so what? This, okay, and that CH3, and instead of this one alkyl group will be bonded here. So this is tertiary alcohol. So this we have already discussed, we have already studied in the preparation of aldehyde. So this reaction is very important. This reaction is very important. Okay. So let us summarize. So what we can write? Formaldehyde react with Grignard reaction, RMGX. In start I am writing RMGX followed by hydrolysis. Like this, H3O, or we can write H plus also. and somewhere it is written like this also. So don't be confused. Okay. So what we see there. Okay. So let us see a reversible reaction. These are. Okay. So let us see what we will get. That is primary alcohol. What is primary alcohol? Okay. We have taken. If we are taking acetaldehyde, what? CH3. I will write acetaldehyde. Followed by, react with RMGX, means Grignard reaction, and followed by, so in start I am writing both steps. First means we have made it clear and H plus. Directly I am writing. So what will be that? Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol. And if we have taken ketone plus RMGX, like this can be shown RMGX, so followed by hydrolysis. Okay, so it forms what? It forms tertiary alcohol. So this reaction we have already discussed in the properties of aldehyde and ketone. So same reaction and is in preparation of alcohols, primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols. So let us move to next point. Next is addition of alcohol. Addition of alcohol. Addition of alcohol. Inside we can write primary alcohol. It is not, but it always reacts with primary alcohol. Okay. So how does it react? Let us see. First, I will summarize, so it would be easy to write it. Aldehyde react with primary alcohol. Primary alcohol react with primary alcohol. Okay. So it forms hemiester. Okay. This is a reversible reaction. Further, one more mole of alcohol react with, it form acetal. Okay. So let us see how does it react and how does product obtain. LD means aldehyde. Okay. This much you shortcut you have to remember it. Okay. Let us see aldehyde. CH3 COH react with primary alcohol. One thing you have to remember here, that you may be confused. In this bond breaks from this bond is breaking. This bond is breaking. So that bond is breaking. This portion will be negative. So it goes through there, and that goes to here. This one shift means as soon as it will add, this one will shift that side, and that side will be electron rich. So that electron deficient will attack to electron rich poles. So what is this? Let us see. This is CH3, and what we have added here? H. So OH plus H, and what we have added here? OR. Okay. So it is called what? Hemiester. What is hemiester? One more molecule of this ion, same way. Okay, and same way, and it forms diester. it forms diacetyl. Let us see how does it form diacetyl or acetyl. This reaction takes place in presence of HCl. Presence of HCl, so it may be shown like this. Okay. So that react. One thing remember it. Okay. In second step, what is the name? Alkoxy alcohol. Alkoxy alcohol. You know, because of this alkoxy will be added and the rest is alcohol. So what is name of this alkoxy alcohol? And in that you remember one thing. You see here this, okay, and that. What happened here in this reaction? Okay, these two will form H2. What is the meaning then? So what is that? If I wrote H2O, this will be added to there. This will be added to there. And what is the product? We get product CH3 OR H and OR, jam dihalide. We can say jam dihalide or jam dialkoxy compound, and this is called acetal. It is called acetal. So what we have seen here, that aldehyde react with alcohol in presence of HCl formed hemiester. This is the product. Hemiester means alkoxy alcohol. Okay, this is called hemiester, and it react with another molecule of primary alcohol and form acetal. And that is jam dialkoxy compound. Jam dialkoxy compound. Okay, so this, let us discuss reaction of ketones. Reaction of ketones with alcohol. So how does this alcohol? It is ethylene glycol. What is ethylene glycol? Okay. Ethylene glycol. So how does it react? It reacts in this way. Let us see how does it react. This portion is 2H from ethylene glycol. 2H from ethylene glycol, and this form H2. This form H2O. Okay. So let us write what is H2O, and I will write this one like this: CH3, CH3, and this group here and that group to there. Okay. So what is the product? Let us see. Like this we can write. Like this. Like this. It is ethylene glycol. That is, what is the name of ethylene glycol? Ketone. It forms the cyclic compound. This is ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol. It is known as ketone. Okay. So you remember that in same condition, aldehyde reacts to primary alcohol. So that form, what is that form? Hemiester and ester. Ketone react, it forms cyclic compound that is called ethylene glycol and known as ketone. So one more point about this: if these acetal or ketone are hydrolyzed by mineral, aqueous mineral acid, okay, if these acetal and ethylene glycol are hydrolyzed by aqueous mineral. Okay, acid. So it gives corresponding aldehyde and ketone. Let us see what if hemiacetal, it is mineralized aqueous HCl like this. So it will form what is RCHO plus ROH. If it means acetal is there, so what will be 2 and 2. Okay, and ketone is there taking means ketal. So what was the structure of ketal? Like this structure was of ketal. What is? It was like this, I think. If wrong, one thing I would like to say that you should watch the videos till end. Whoever is posting, then you will understand all the points. So this video is being bigger, taking more time. So I will make another video for the chemical properties of aldehyde and ketone. Because if I am uploading big videos, so blur is coming. So after some points, I will add, and next chemical properties of this will be given in another video. So if hydrolyzed aqueous HCl, it will form what is acetone plus ethylene glycol. So these are the products. Next, our next is addition of ammonia and their derivatives. Reaction with ammonia and its derivation. Reaction with ammonia and its derivative. So aldehyde and ketones react with ammonia and its derivative, gives different product. But formaldehyde react with ammonia and form urotropin. So this you remember it. कि aldehyde react with ammonia and form amine, aldehyde amine. But formaldehyde, especially formaldehyde, react with ammonia and form urotropin. React with ammonia and form urotropin. So you remember this 6HCHO plus 4NH3 hexamethylene tetramine. Hexamethylene tetramine plus H2. This reaction. Okay. So this is the main product, and this is also known as urotropin. So you remember aldehyde, ammonia is aldehyde. If I am taking here aldehyde, it reacts with ammonia. So in ammonia, here this group goes to this and this to here. Okay. So what is the product? And it is catalyzed by acid. It is a reversible reaction. So we use catalyst acid. Is any acid, mineral acid, etc. we can use. Okay. So here what is the product? Let us see. CH3. This goes to there. So first we will see this will go to there because delta positive and delta negative. Okay. So if that comes to here and this bond shift to that side. So this position, this becomes electron rich, and in this bond breaks. So our nitrogen being more electronegative takes the electron and it becomes positive. So positive positive goes to negative, and here negative goes to positive. Okay, so what is the product? OH, and it can be written like this. H can be shifted like this. Okay, and here NH2, NH2, and after that dehydration. Dehydration means the releases H2O from there, and we can write this like this, H and H. So these two form H2. So one valency of carbon becomes free and one valency of nitrogen. So they form a double bond between carbon and nitrogen. So what is this? CH3, CH, this H, and NH. NH. This is the product. Okay. So this is the product. So here what we will see, that name of that compound from parent aldehyde. So what is acetaldehyde? Acetaldehyde imine. Acetaldehyde imine. If instead of that we are taking ketone like this, we are taking ketone here, NH3, H, H, H. So delta positive charge, delta negative charge there. This come to there, this bond shifted to that side, and this bond break from here, and this goes to there. Okay. So what is the product? Product, what we will get? You see here. So CH3, this will go to there. So we can write NH. H can be written like this. Okay. And I will write this OH. 1 minute, please. That we can write like this. Okay. So this we will write there, and H, and this hydrogen I am showing here, and this will change by taking that to OH. Sorry. And next is the dehydration. So in dehydration, OH from there and H from there will release as H2. Okay. And what is the product? This is the product. This is the product. 1 minute. Sorry, students. Here CH3 is there. CH3. I have taken this ketone. So what will be the ketone? Ketone imine. So like this product you will get. But in case of formaldehyde, you have to learn it. In case of formaldehyde, it forms urotropin. It forms urotropin. And other derivatives means it be replace hydrogen of ammonia, and different groups are being added. So different derivative product we will get. So let us see what are the different product we can get. So here let us see what different products we will get when it reacts, means derivatives of ammonia. So what and how many derivatives are there we can write. This is means ammonia derivatives. Ammonia derivatives. Okay. When NH3 of NH3 is ammonia, when one hydrogen of NH3 is replaced by different group that may be OH, NH2OH, like this. Okay. So different product we will get, and different name is given like this. If one H is replaced by one H of NH3 is replaced like this, if we write NH, H and H. If this one is replaced by OH, this one replaced by OH. So what we will say? Hydroxylamine. What we will say? Hydroxylamine. And what is the product? Product will be the oxime. Product is oxime. So it can be written like this: NH2N-OH. So this is called oxime. So when oxime react with aldehyde, that form aldehyde oxime. Okay. So if we have taken here what? Formaldehyde. If we take formaldehyde, that will be product formaldehyde oxide, and here H2O will be released. Formaldehyde oxide. If we have taken acetaldehyde here like this, so it will be acetaldehyde oxide. Acetaldehyde oxide. Like this reaction we will get. Acetaldehyde oxide we will get. If we have taken ketone, we have taken ketone here. So what will be the product? Ketone oxide. What will be? Ketone oxide. So when one hydrogen is replaced by OH group, that is called hydroxylamine. So name of this one is hydroxylamine. And what is the product? So if it react with aldehyde, ketone and formaldehyde, it gives. So this is means when aldehyde and ketones react with hydroxylamine, it gives oxime. That may be formaldehyde oxime, acetaldehyde oxime, and ketone oxime. And next is hydrazine. If one H of ammonia is replaced by NH2, if one H of ammonia is replaced by NH2 like this, NH, H and H. If this hydrogen is replaced by NH2, so after this, if we are replacing, means we will replace this, and here there will be single bond. Okay. So what is name of this? Hydrazine. What is hydrazine? And when it react with aldehyde, ketone or formaldehyde, it forms hydrazine. So if we are taking here like this, HCl, here I will write here closer, so it is easy to write. So these two will form H2O. Here H2O will be released, and this is what is formaldehyde hydrazone. Here zine, there zone. Okay, as a formaldehyde hydrazone. If we taken here acetaldehyde, so what will be? What will be the product? Here acetaldehyde hydrazone. Okay. If we have taken ketone, if I place this group like this, so what will be the product? This is the product, and it will be what is? Ketone hydrazone. Okay. So you remember when hydrazine react with aldehyde, ketone or formaldehyde, it gives aldehyde or ketone hydrazone. Okay. So we can write. Next is when one hydrogen of ammonia is replaced by 2,4-dinitrophenyl. 2,4-dinitrophenyl. It forms 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine. Here, if it reacts 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine, so we will get, means if we say what, if one hydrogen of this one is replaced by NH like this, like this. 2 4 here. Replaced. It is 2. Okay. Who replace? One hydrogen is replaced. So what will be the reactant? Sorry, here H is there. Okay. So what is that? This will be the product. 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine. When it react, it forms hydrazone, and it is crystalline violet color. It is crystalline violet color. So this is used to differentiate the aldehyde and ketones. Means this reaction 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used to differentiate the functional group of aldehyde and ketone. Means if so 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used to find the functional group of aldehyde and ketone. Means aldehyde and ketones react with 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine to form violet color crystalline substance. Violet color crystalline substance. So this reaction is used to differentiate, to detect the functional group. Means to detect the carbonyl functional group. Means 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used. 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used to detect carbonyl functional group. Carbonyl functional group, because when it react with aldehyde or ketone, aldehyde or ketones, gives violet crystalline product. So formation of this violet crystalline product shows the presence of carbonyl group in a given organic compound. So we use this reaction 2,4 dinitrophenyl hydrazine is used to detect the carbonyl group of organic compound. So this reaction is very important. And next is semi-carbazide. Semi-carbazide. What is semi-carbazide? When one hydrogen of ammonia is replaced by this group, the NHCO NH2. So we get semi-carbazide. When it react with aldehyde or ketone, so we can show like this. Here aldehyde and ketones, it release H2, is liberate H2. So I am showing here H and H, and it will release like this. Okay, so it will form the product. We are releasing H2 and it will form the product H and HCO NH2. So what is the product? Means whatever we are writing, and then semi-carbazone. Okay, semi-carbazone. So this we got the product. Semi-carbazone we got the product. Okay, so if we are taking aldehyde, so product will be formaldehyde, semi-carbazone. If we have taken acetaldehyde, this is the acetaldehyde. So what will be the product? Acetaldehyde semi-carbazone. Acetaldehyde, here we will write acetaldehyde semi-carbazone. If we have taken here ketone, This is ketone. So what will be the product? Ketone semi-carbazole. So different products we got here, and in this case, if we are taking primary amine, when we are taking primary amine means the NH is replaced. Sorry, if N of ammonia is replaced by R group means alkyl group, so we get amine. And when amine react with aldehyde and ketones, they form Sif base. So remember it, when amines react with aldehyde and ketones, they form Sif base. So let us see the reaction. Then amine react with aldehyde and ketone. So how is amine is formed? When one hydrogen of ammonia is replaced by alkyl group. Alkyl group. So it is called amine. What is the product? We can write NH2 R, or we can write RNH2. This is alkyl amine. And here this should be aliphatic and it should be primary amine. Remember it, it should be primary amine. So when aldehyde ketone is, we can show like this. Okay. React with this. Okay. React with this and form this product. This is called Sif base. This is called, what is Sif base? Sif base. So this reaction is also important when aldehyde and ketone react with ammonia, not with amine. And how is amine obtained? When one hydrogen of ammonia is replaced by alkyl amine obtained. So when it reacts with aldehyde and ketones is formed Sif base. So what we have seen here, aldehyde and ketone react with amine, is aliphatic amine, especially primary. Gives amine, gives amine that called Sif base. Sif base. This is also very important. What is Sif base? So remember that when aliphatic amine react with aldehyde and ketone form Sif amine, that is called Sif base. So thank you.